5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
International rescue. So, now your members seek further glory in the hunting of ancient treasures. But this time, you will fail. Treasure that international rescue seeks will be mine. They and their expedition will be buried at the bottom of Lake Anasta.
Brains had accepted an invitation from Professor Blakely to join him on an expedition to the sunken temple of Anasta to seek the legendary treasure which was thought to be buried there. I had jumped at the chance of assisting in the search, and we are now aboard Thunderbird 2 on our way to join the professor. We're nearly at the rendezvous.
And we're well up to time, too. Now look, when we get down there and I drop the pod, you've got to move fast. We mustn't let the professor know that you're connected with international rescue in any way.
That's right, Virgil. And if he asks, we came out to the Middle East by charter flight.
All set, Brains?
FAB.
Right. Going in to land now.
The giant Thunderbird machine came to rest on the sand and slowly raised itself up on the hydraulic legs. Brains and I transferred to the pod, and by the time the flap dropped, we were ready to go. We were to meet the professor at a certain map reference and then to travel on to Lake Anasta together. In readiness for the expedition, Virgil had loaded aboard Thunderbird 2 the mobile control room, containing not only our sleeping quarters, but also the radio equipment which would be our only means of communication with base. This was most important, as Lake Anasta is situated in the middle of the desert, miles from anywhere. Brains had also added a small laboratory so that any samples which were brought up could be analyzed on the spot. And, of course, a large supply of diving gear, without which we wouldn't have been able to reach the temple.
Well, I hope our sort of secret landing passed off sort of secretly. And now to meet up with Professor Blakely.
He should be at the crossroads 3 miles along this road. He's coming down the other desert highway.
Hello there. What? Mr. Brains, is it?
Yes, Professor Blakely. That's right.
Glad to meet you at last, old boy.
I'm sure glad to meet you, too, old boy. May I introduce you to my assistant, Miss Tintin Kyrano?
Oh, delighted, I'm sure. Charming. Well, Brains, this is the day of reckoning. The proof of the pudding is in the eating and all that. What?
What? Yeah. Well, now, what would you like to do first, Professor Blakely?
Well, I thought we might trot down to the old lake and make an old recce, Let me just pay off this cabbie and I'll be right with you. What's the damage then, old boy?
6 suckers, please, master. Thank you, master. Good safari. Oh, yes.
There it is, Lake Anasta. It was a beautiful setting. A small lake surrounded by a fringe of palm trees. But what we didn't know was that somewhere in that lovely, cool-looking water, in his mini-sub, patiently awaiting our arrival, sat the Hood.
Excellent. My friends are just in time.
Well, Professor, we're just gonna take our first look at the temple.
Oh, well, jolly good luck.
Just think, we'll be the first people to set eyes on the temple for over 100 years.
Well, 100 years may have affected the stonework, so be careful when you're down there. It could be treacherous.
We will.
Be sure and bring me back something interesting.
Then, after adjusting our breathing gear, we entered the water. It was lovely and cool after the heat of the sun. Down and down we went, keeping our eyes open for the first sign of the temple. Until... There it is.
Now, be very careful, Tintin. Professor Blakely was right. It doesn't look too solid. Now, the problem is, which column contains the treasure?
Let's try that one over there. The stonework did look very unsafe, and what remained of the roof of the temple was supported by a large central column, which we now swam towards.
You know, Tintin, you may be right. This could be the one.
Let's take a sample of it back to the professor.
Say, look there, Professor. What's that?
Mr. Brains, Miss Kyrano, I'm glad to say that the Anasta expedition is a success. You have located the lost treasure.
Brains, we must radio Mr. Tracy right away and tell him. That night, after Brains had radioed base, he was sitting on his bed looking at the jewel we had found.
Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. Huh? Hey, what was that?
It was the Hood, in one of his many disguises.
Who are you? What do you want?
As Brains spoke, the intruder's eyes seemed to light up, making him feel strangely sleepy.
Who are you?
Great news, everybody. Brains radioed in last night to tell me that they had traced the lost treasure in the lake.
Say, that is good news. When did he tell you this?
He reported in before turning in for the night. He and Tintin went down to the underwater temple as soon as they got there.
Gee, they must be feeling pleased with themselves.
But far from being pleased with ourselves, the professor and I had been locked in our quarters by our arch enemy with the staring eyes, who then made off into the desert, taking Brains with him.
Tintin! Professor! Oh, it's no use. He must have got them, too. If only I could get to the radio.
What would you do then, my friend? Inform your friends at International Rescue? No, that is out of the question, I'm afraid.
Where are the others? What have you done with the others?
I shall deal with them later. But first, I want some information from you. Where is the treasure concealed in the underwater temple? Answer my question. I saw you come from the temple with some of the treasure. Where is the rest of it?
don't know who you are, but please let me have some water.
Tell me where the gold is, and then I shall let you and your friends go. It is a simple choice to make.
I don't get it. Brains has never been late before. Let's try again. Brains, are you receiving me? Nothing. Not a whisper.
Well, it's certainly not like Brains to lose contact completely, like this. Father, it's...
Yes, it's the emergency signal. Right, that settles it. You better get out there, Scott. Fast.
Yes, sir.
In a matter of minutes, Thunderbird 2 was airborne with Gordon and Thunderbird 4 aboard. The destination was Lake Anasta, and Virgil was soon well on his way. Meanwhile, Scott and Thunderbird 1, the much faster craft, had reached our camp and was circling overhead when Mr. Tracy called.
Right. Now hear this. Thunderbirds 1 and 2 from International Rescue. I want tri-circuit contact maintained at all times. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Virgil, what's your ETA?
ETA now 2.5 minutes, Father.
Father.
Yes?
Father, I can see Brains. Down below in the sand.
So?
He's buried in the sand. Up to his neck. I'm going down now.
So, they have found my victim in the sand. However, I can turn this setback to my advantage. I now have the chance to destroy International Rescue utterly after they have led me to the treasure.
This is Thunderbird 2. Estimated time of arrival now 1 minute.
Oh, hi, Scott.
Hi. Well, how are the invalids?
Oh, very much better, thanks, Scott. What's the news from base?
Well, Father is going to arrange for a helicopter to ship out the professor to hospital, and then he says we've got hot-footed back to base.
Well, I guess he's right. We do seem to have caused a lot of trouble one way and another.
There's just one thing that puzzles me.
What's that, Scott?
After Father had gone off the air, I noticed that the photo alert had been operating.
The photo alert? But that's impossible. Who could be taking photographs of Thunderbird in this area? There's nobody within miles of us. Oh, of course. That's it. Why didn't I think of this before?
Think of what, Brains? What are you talking about?
I regret to say that this whole expedition has been used by our enemies as a means of drawing international rescue to a lonely spot. We have walked straight into a trap.
That night, after we'd all retired to our quarters and were fast asleep, a shadowy figure, dressed in a black rubber diving suit, entered the room and approached my bed. Oh!
Shh. Tintin, it's only me.
Brains, what are you doing up at this time of night?
Tintin, I haven't been able to sleep for worry.
What about?
Well, you heard what Mr. Tracy said about the Anasta expedition having caused international rescue a lot of trouble.
Yes, but I don't think he meant we had done it deliberately.
No, but I feel awfully guilty about it. And to cap it all, we've got someone spying on us.
It must be the same person who hypnotized us yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And there's only one place he could be observing us from. The center of the lake. Now, look, Tintin. I've got to try and make amends for all the trouble I've caused.
Brains, you're not going out into the lake tonight.
Tintin, I am. I'm going to see what's down there. Now, here's what I want you to do. Would you keep in touch with me all the time on Talkback?
All right, Brains, but I don't like it. So Brains made his way to the edge of the lake and entered the water. But despite all the care he took so as not to wake the others, his presence did not go unnoticed. In his mini-sub, at the bottom of the lake, the Hood was waiting.
So, I have visitors. My little alarm system works.
Tintin, I think I'm onto something. I found a cable leading from this column. Hey, here's another one.
Brains, I don't like it. I'm going to go and waken Scott and the others.
No, Tintin. There's no need for that yet.
Brains was sure the cables weren't there the previous day when we'd found the temple, so he decided to find out where they led to. But the Hood, who had left the mini-sub via the escape airlock, was waiting for him. He couldn't escape that hypnotic stare.
Oh, those eyes. Those eyes. Those staring eyes.
His brains! Within seconds, he was unconscious. I tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen.
Come on. We've got to get down there right away.
Now to get the treasure before his friends find him.
Explosion after explosion shook the temple, bringing down columns and debris all over Brains. But before the Hood had time to find out if he'd uncovered the treasure, Gordon in Thunderbird 4 was speeding down to investigate.
The temple is in ruins, Scott. Brains couldn't have survived.
Well, search the area, Gordon. If he is alive, he's got about 7 minutes of oxygen left.
Scott, there's air bubbles coming from under some rubble here. Hurry! Bring the aerostatic lifting kit. It might be Brains.
It's on its way, Gordon.
Virgil, I'm gonna start clearing.
So, at last. Now to destroy international rescue and then collect the treasure.
I'm being attacked. There's another craft down here. Keep Scott clear until I call for it.
Gordon wasted no time in re-entering Thunderbird 4. As soon as he was seated at the controls again, the high-speed turbine sprang into life and the chase was on. The Hood was now on the run, twisting and turning, trying to throw his pursuer off. But this was what Gordon had been trained to do, and gradually he began to overhaul the mini-sub until he was in a position to use the Sting missiles.
My motors! They're flooding!
The mini-sub sank to the bottom and was shattered by a great explosion, but not before its mysterious occupant had made his escape. Oh, Virgil, what happened?
Gordon, what happened? Gordon, do you read me?
I'll explain later. Get Scott down here fast. I'm going after Brains.
Better go and make the professor comfortable, Tintin. The helicopter's due in 3 minutes.
Yes, Virgil.
How's it going, Gordon?
Well, Brains found its treasure, all right. In fact, we're swimming in it. Now we're going to release the lifting kit.
Scott had attached the aerostatic lifting gear to a column which had fallen across Brain's legs. Now, as they operated the inflating mechanism, the balloon began to rise up. Inch by inch, the column began to lift until they were able to pull him clear. Well, I must say I'm glad to be back at base after that little exploit. When Brains has had a few days' rest, he will be fit enough to accompany Professor Blakely to the World Archaeological Museum to hand over the treasure for everyone to enjoy. It's a pity, though, that we were unable to catch the hood, but I'm sure we haven't seen the last of him. And maybe next time we will be more successful. Until next time, then, FAB.